Okay, so picture this. You walk up to your front door after a long day, key in hand, ready to just relax, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to open the door, it's locked. From the inside. You try again, nothing's still locked.
Okay.
So now you're getting that like knot in your stomach, and you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And you peek through the window, and there it is, a stranger.
Oh, no.
Not a burglar, not someone like sneaking around, but someone just living there, like they own the place.
Wow.
This isn't some movie, this happened for real in Queens, New York.
Really?
And it gets worse. What if that person inside isn't just some random criminal?
Yeah.
What if the law is actually on their side?
That's scary.
We've got a whole bunch of news articles and legal analyses for you guys today, and it is truly wild.
I mean, that really shakes you to your core, right? Like your home's supposed to be your safe space.
Exactly. It's that primal feeling of home as sanctuary.
Right.
And what makes this so much worse than just a simple break-in is how this guy apparently manipulated the legal system. Today we're diving into a story of straight-up betrayal, how someone twisted legal protections and weaponized a loophole to torment a single mother.
So this isn't about forced entry.
Nope, this is about hijacking a home with pure audacity and a wild interpretation of the law.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to the deep dive, the man who stole a house without ever breaking in.
And you know what else is crazy about this story? It sounds like this wasn't just a one-time thing. This guy may have done this a lot.
Exactly. That's what makes this so disturbing. This isn't just some isolated incident. This case shows how any of us could be vulnerable.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
All right, so let's set the scene.
Okay.
The victim in our sources is Ruth, a hardworking woman from Queens.
Mm-hmm.
After her parents passed, she inherited their house.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't anything fancy, but it was hers. It was her family's legacy.
Yeah.
So naturally, she decides to do some renovations just to make it her own, update it a bit.
Of course, makes sense.
Totally responsible, right?
Absolutely.
So she packs up, moves out temporarily, and the work begins.
Right.
Weeks go by. She's getting updates from the contractors. Everything seems fine.
Yeah.
And then comes moving day. She gets to the house, key in hand, ready to move back in.
Okay.
But the key won't turn.
What?
The lock's been changed.
Oh, wow.
A new lock on her door. And then she notices the windows are all sealed shut.
That's so creepy.
Talk about a moment of disbelief.
Yeah, you'd think there's some kind of mistake, right?
Exactly. At first, she thinks it must be the contractors.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they forgot to give her the new key.
Right, a simple oversight.
But then she starts to get uneasy.
Yeah.
She knocks, no answer. She peeks through a crack in the curtains and she sees him.
Who?
A total stranger just inside her house.
Like he belongs there.
Yeah, just living there.
That is so unsettling.
Great. I mean, your home is supposed to be your sanctuary.
Absolutely.
And someone's violated that.
Big time.
So what does she do? She calls the police.
Of course.
Right.
What else would you do?
There's a stranger in my house, she tells them, panicked.
Yeah.
And you would think the police would show up, figure out who owns the house, and kick the guy out, right?
Right, the deed's in her name. It's not complicated.
But that's not what happened.
Really?
When the police got there and talked to the man inside, they didn't arrest him.
They didn't.
Nope. Instead, get this, they told Ruth that this guy claimed to be a tenant.
Oh, come on.
And that he has tenant's rights.
Tenant's rights?
Tenant's rights.
But he doesn't have a lease or anything.
Exactly. No lease, no connection to Ruth, no evidence of any agreement.
He just said he was a tenant.
Yep, just a verbal claim.
That's unbelievable.
It's totally bizarre, right? And this is where things go from just unsettling to straight up unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, how can a verbal claim mean anything legally?
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Apparently, in some places, just saying you're a tenant can actually give you legal protection.
Seriously?
Seriously. So who is this guy who's taken over Ruth's home?
Yeah, who is he?
His name is Elvis Santana.
Elvis Santana.
Elvis Santana. And just to be clear, this is not the king.
Okay, good.
This Elvis, according to these news reports, is a known serial squatter in New York City.
Serial squatters. So this isn't his first time?
Nope, not even close.
That's crazy.
And the way he does it is so audacious.
How so?
He finds properties that look empty
Oh?
Like maybe they're being renovated like Ruth's, or they were recently inherited and no one's living there yet.
Yeah.
And then he gets in. Sometimes he just walks right in if the door is unlocked.
Wow.
Other times, who knows? But he gets in, changes the locks.
It changes the locks.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
That's so bold.
And then the real kicker, he files fake paperwork saying he's a tenant.
He makes up documents?
Yep. He basically creates his own reality on paper.
Wow. So he doesn't just occupy the space, he creates a whole fake story around it.
Exactly.
That's wild.
And the thing is, this wasn't some act of desperation for Santana.
Really?
He'd been arrested 27 times before this for doing the same thing.
27 to
27 times. You'd think someone would have stopped him by now.
I mean, that's a huge red flag, right?
Right. You'd think there would be something in place to stop this kind of abuse.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
But here's the problem. The alleged bizarre loophole that our sources keep mentioning.
What is it?
New York's tenancy laws are written so that once someone claims to live in a property,
Okay.
even if it's a total lie, even if they got in illegally,
Right.
the process to remove them is so slow and so expensive.
So the owner.
For the owner, exactly. And the owner has to prove that this person isn't a tenant.
It doesn't seem fair.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, so the homeowner's stuck.
Totally.
Oh, this guy's living there for free.
Living there for free, running up utility bills, maybe even trashing the place.
It's crazy how the power dynamic gets flipped like that.
It's infuriating.
Totally.
So what did Ruth do? She did what anyone would do. She hired a lawyer.
Makes sense.
She had to fight for her home in court.
Yeah.
I mean, she had the deed, she had all the paperwork.
So it should have been straightforward, right?
You would think so.
But it was...
But it wasn't weeks. Weeks turned into months, and Ruth was getting nowhere.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine that stress?
Your own home being occupied by a stranger.
And the legal system is just crawling along.
That's awful.
Absolutely awful. And to make matters worse, while all this is happening, Santana is living it up in her house.
Rent-free.
Rent-free, using her utilities, probably damaging the property.
It's unbelievable.
It's like a total violation.
And the homeowner is stuck footing the bill.
Exactly. She's paying the property taxes, the utilities, the legal fees.
That's a huge financial burden.
It's insane. And then it gets even crazier.
What happened?
Santana tries to sue Ruth for harassment.
He sues her.
He sues her. Can you believe the nerve?
That's insane.
It's like he's the victim.
It's a total distortion of reality.
Right. It's like he's trying to punish her for trying to get her own house back.
Yeah, it's a tactic to delay things even more.
Exactly. And it works.
Really?
The legal system gets bogged down with even more paperwork and delays.
And Ruth is the one suffering.
Exactly. She's the one who's being victimized, but she's also the one who has to jump through all these hoops.
That's so frustrating.
It's incredibly frustrating. And the reason she's stuck is because of this thing called self-help eviction.
Self-help evictions.
Yeah, New York law basically says you can't just kick someone out of your property, even if they're there illegally.
Even if they're squatting.
Even if they're squatting, you have to go through the courts.
Wow.
And the whole point of that law is to protect tenants from being unfairly evicted.
Okay, I get that.
Right. But in this case, it's being used to protect someone who shouldn't even be there in the first place.
That's messed up.
Totally messed up. And housing court is a nightmare. It's so slow. Cases can drag on for years. And Santana knows how to play the system.
Yeah.
He files paperwork, he claims hardship, all these things that just delay the process even more.
So he's gaming the system.
Exactly.
And Ruth is trapped.
Completely trapped. She's paying for everything while he lives in her house for free.
It's a total nightmare.
It's a nightmare scenario, and it makes you wonder, why isn't there anything in place to stop this guy from doing this over and over again?
I mean, 27 arrests. You'd think that would be enough.
Right. It seems like there should be some way to protect people from this kind of abuse.
Absolutely.
But the crazy thing is, the law treats each case individually.
So each time it's like starting from scratch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless there's some clear evidence that he committed a crime when he entered the property, it's just seen as a landlord-tenant dispute.
So it's a civil matter, not a criminal one.
Exactly. And that means going through the whole slow eviction process all over again.
Wow. So it's like he gets a free pass each time.
Pretty much. And the truly disturbing thing is this isn't just happening in New York.
Really?
It's happening in big cities all over the country. Los Angeles, Chicago.
So it's a nationwide problem.
It seems like there are these loopholes in the law that are being exploited all over the place.
And homeowners are the ones who suffer.
Exactly.
That's really worrying.
It is. And the consequences can be devastating.
Like what's
People are spending years fighting to get their homes back.
years?
Years. And some people are actually losing their homes completely.
Oh.
They can't afford the legal fees, or they get hit with huge tax bills because someone else was living in their house illegally.
So they're financially ruined.
Exactly. And it's not just about the money, it's about the emotional toll.
Of course.
Imagine the stress of having your home taken over by a stranger.
I can't even imagine.
It's a nightmare. And there's this one story that really highlights how messed up this whole situation is.
What happened?
A woman tried to go back into her own house to get some of her belongings,
Okay.
and she got arrested
She got arrested.
for trying to enter her own home.
Wow. So the system is completely backwards.
It's completely backwards.
The homeowner gets punished while the squatter gets protected.
That's exactly what it feels like.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy. And back to Ruth's story.
Yeah,
She was going through hell.
I bet.
She was depressed. She was losing hope. The dream of passing her home down to her children was fading away.
That's heartbreaking.
It is. It's more than just a property dispute. It's about her family's legacy.
It's about her future
Exactly.
and her sense of security.
Right.
And then what happened?
Well, just when things seemed hopeless, she got a call from the DA's office.
The DA.
Yeah, it seems like things might finally be turning around.
Well, this is good news.
It was a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
And they told her that Santana had been arrested.
Finally.
Finally.
What happened?
He got caught forging documents again. But this time it was enough to bring criminal charges.
Oh, wow. So it's not just a housing court issue anymore.
Exactly. They charged him with fraud, trespassing, impersonation.
That's good.
It was a big deal.
So what happened next?
The court ordered him to be removed from the property immediately.
That's great.
It was a huge relief for Ruth.
I bet.
She finally got her house back.
After all that time.
After all that time.
But I'm sure the damage was already done.
Oh, yeah. She had lost a lot of money, and the emotional trauma was immense.
Yeah, you can't just erase that experience.
Exactly.
So it's a victory, but a bittersweet one.
Exactly. And here's the really scary part.
What?
Even after being arrested and facing these serious charges, Santana was released on bail.
Bail?
Bail?
You're kidding?
Nope.
So he could just do this all over again.
That's the terrifying question.
It's a huge risk.
It is. And the answer is yes, he could.
Really?
There's nothing stopping him from trying this again.
That's unbelievable.
I know, it's scary.
It makes you wonder if the system is really protecting homeowners.
Exactly. It makes you realize that justice isn't always about right and wrong.
Right.
It's also about knowing how to work the system.
And unfortunately, in this case, it seems like the abuser knew how to work the system better than the victim.
It's a sad reality, and it shows how vulnerable we all are.
Yeah, even in our own homes.
So what's the takeaway from all this?
That's a tough one.
It's unsettling, but it's important to be aware of these loopholes in the law.
Absolutely, knowledge is power.
And it makes you think, what if someone like Santana is watching your house right now, just waiting for the chance to take it over?
That's a scary thought.
It is. It's a reminder to be vigilant.
And maybe even to push for changes in the law.
Exactly. We need better protections for homeowners.
Definitely.
So if this story resonated with you, please share it.
Yeah, let's raise awareness about this issue.
And if you or someone you know has experienced something similar, we want to hear from you.
Your stories are important.
And make sure you subscribe to The Deep Dive for more deep dives into the unexpected and often unbelievable realities of our world.
We'll keep bringing you these stories.
Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and always double check your locks.
Good advice.
See you next time.
Bye.